We usually think of Vasi's prints as records of the architecture and streets of Rome, its churches, palaces, and urban spaces. But along the edges, in the margins, beneath the vast cityscape, Vasi includes some little surprises. From the everyday interactions of Romans to the deeper and sometimes darker sides of life in the city. Throughout the Magnificenze, Vasi populates his prints with characters from all social classes. In this etching of the Porto Castello, we can see some rustics dressed in simple clothes and floppy hats dancing to the music of a bagpipe and fiddle, while a group of elegantly dressed Romans look on. In most of Vasi's prints, various social classes peaceably coexist, as they do in this scene. But not all of the encounters in Vasi's etchings were cordial ones. Here's some poor soul getting run over by a carriage in front of the Chiesa di Santa Simone Profeta. Beggars and vagrants were a part of everyday life in the city. In this plate, we can see some soliciting passers-by. Sometimes their pleas are heeded, and sometimes they're ignored. Sometimes violence erupts in Vasi streets. Here's someone receiving an impromptu beating in the Piazza Arcoeli up against the palace wall. In this scene, a knife fight erupts in front of the church of San Niccolò in Carcieri, while a woman onlooker makes a half-hearted attempt to break it up. The streets were not devoid of security, however. Here, outside of the elegant Palazzo Colonna di Sciarra, a guardsman in his triangular hat frisks a shabbily dressed figure to ensure that he is unarmed. It's hard to tell if the mysterious figure gesturing on the left is a snitch or a mere onlooker berating the aggressor. In either case, his presence only adds to the drama. In the Rome that Vasi depicts, misfortune is dealt to the poor and the prosperous alike. But Vasi was not so dark and spiteful in all of his etchings. Vasi's humor is clearly on display in this plate, as he shows a drunken man sleeping beneath a sign that translates "wine of all sorts." Meanwhile, we witness a seemingly universal public disturbance. A man relieving himself in the middle of a public square. Vasi seems to hold little back with his characters. We see here a supposed prostitute ply the streets just outside of the Porta Calavigeri. Within plain view of St. Peter's Basilica, we can see her flashing a little leg, hoping to entice a passerby. Vasi was not alone in his interest in genre and the depiction of everyday life, including its seamy aspects. Vasi's works reflect a wide trend echoed by his artistic contemporaries. Painters like Gaspare Traversi often reveled in the wry and humorous depictions of contemporary situations and characters. This painting shows a privileged man making an indecent proposal to a young girl while an older woman looks on knowingly. But Vasi's use of genre and lifelike detail was not new to artists of his day. Vasi's own mentor, Pier Leone Gezi, created works of art that are, in essence, pure genre. Gezi depicted his world through a remarkable series of hundreds of caricatures. He skewered pretense with a gentle humor that sometimes crossed over into the crude. In this cartoon, an eminent doctor is urinated upon by a mangy dog. Among all of the different characters that Vasi added to his etchings, he could not help but add himself among the people of the streets. This little figure, placed in at least 8 of the Magnificenze etchings, as well as his prospetto, is understood to be a self-portrait. Urban artists like Vasi, Traversi, and Gezi teach us a lot about the society in which they lived. Their prints and sketches have become time capsules, allowing us to look back at the colorful characters that enlivened Rome's streets and these works of art as well. These perspectives show that you never know what you might find hidden in the margins.